What up, nerds?
Yep.
Welcome to another tier list video with Bruce.
Hello.
Hi, Bruce. Today we're going to be doing air. So let's talk about how cracked air is, or used to be.
Uh, ooh, what's this first one here? I'll be honest. I
Ooh,
have yet to play Midsummer.
I've also never played against it, but it does look amazing. I think this is my favorite art from the,
Playmats.
was it the store kit playmats?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is beautiful. So Midsummer Night's Dream is 3 mana, 2 air threshold, and is a unique aura. Mortals here are disabled, and each give +1 power to all fairies here. Dispel if there are no fairies here. I want it to be good. I don't think that the fairy deck exists, and while there are individual mortals, my problem with this card, I was just talking about this in the chat, is that not only do you need to build around it to work for a unique, so you need to be playing it in basically a fairy deck, but you also require your opponent to be doing something. So like if you're against Archimago, this does almost nothing. I say almost nothing. I mean, like honestly, the creatures that Archimago does play are mortals, but he doesn't really care if you disable them. If you play against like Templar, you win, but other than that, I just don't think it's super good. So it's a 3 mana, do minimal, dispel when there are no fairies, and if they just remove your fairies, then you lose it. I don't like it. I think it's C,
I think it's
maybe
almost D
D.
tier. Like it's 3 mana. You have to like put a lot of work in to get some payoff, and then it just goes away.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I want to like it more because of the art, but yeah, I think it's just not very good.
Next one is Arcane Barrage. This one's really fun.
Ooh, good one. Yeah. So it's X mana, 3 threshold. Shoot X projectiles in the same direction, one at a time. Each deals 1 damage.
Solid,
Pretty good.
simple design. Like if it's a firebolt, it's a firebolt. If it's a massive 8 mana kill you spell, it's an 8 mana kill you. Like it seems very good.
I actually think it's S tier because the only decks that are playing this, it is S tier in. You're not like playing this in Sorcerer because you're just like capping out at 5 mana and you're looking for other things to do, and you're probably using a different burn spell to
So
win.
then
But
I would argue A tier because it doesn't go in every single deck. Like it's just not good ubiquitously. It's good in specific, really
okay,
good decks.
I'm okay with that. But I think in the decks that play it, it's S, and that would be Spark Mage and Archimago.
Yep, I would agree.
Because in Archimago, you're like, oh, it's turn 8. I ripped this. Great. Just hit you for 8, and I'll be able to do it for 9 next turn.
Yeah,
Like, that's insane. And then Spark Mage is just as strong, right? Oh, they have a lot less mana, but usually Spark Mage, that's like, okay, hit you for 4, tap, deal 3 more. So that's 7 mana in 1 turn on like turn 4. Ooh, 7 damage, I mean, that's crazy.
I'll leave it an S. I think it's just like if you're
That's,
playing an
yeah.
airless, this is so good.
Yeah, if you're playing one of those, it's cracked in half.
Arc Lightning is a 4 mana, two air threshold uh, for a magic that deals 4 to a nearby unit. Just
Yep.
just deal 4 for 4. That's like
Yeah.
on rate um, damage to mana, and nearby is not too much of an issue. Like Avatar of Air can move around wherever it wants, and there's blinks and repositioning. Seems solid. B tier?
I think B is fine. It's basically only played, as far as I'm aware, and only good in Archimago and Spark Mage again. I'm probably not playing this in Sorcerer because I'd rather just like play something else. I'm not really playing it in Avatar of Air, although it probably wouldn't be bad there. But I do think it's quite strong in Archimago and Sorcerer. I play it in, or sorry, Archimago and Spark Mage. I play it in both.
I don't like it in Archimago so much because I think there's better stuff to be doing it for, but yeah, as a one of common sense target or something, sounds great.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, what's this next one here? Attack by Night?
We got Attack by Night. It's a 3 mana, 1 air threshold. Enemies drop their artifacts. Allied units strike first this turn. I have it as D, maybe D.
I think C tier because it can, like, it's another minion removal kind of spell. It gives your stuff first strike.
But you have to have a board, and they have to have
Yeah,
a board.
I think I put what else did I put at C tier? Like it was like that minion removal. Oh, duel.
Yeah.
I think that's just kind of where C tier lives for me. Like it can be a removal spell, but I haven't seen it in a lot of constructed, so I don't think it's stone
It's just
unplayable.
I kind of do. If we get mid range soup, then I think it's pretty good because you're gonna have like a board.
Yeah,
People talk about attack by night to get rid of their Ring of Morrigan, but like you need to have a unit on top of their
nearby their thing.
avatar to make that work. Yeah,
And
you
would you
also
rather
like
just
if you
play
draw the
grapple shot? Would you just play grapple shot?
yeah
It's yeah, I would just play
yeah
grapple shot.
yeah. No, I don't like it very much, but yeah.
Okay.
Next is Ball Lightning. 5 mana, 2 air threshold for an elite magic. Shoot a projectile, it deals 4 damage on impact, then changes direction to its next impact, deals 2. Then it changes direction, its final impact deals 1. I
Hmm.
love this in limited.
In limited,
And
I think that sounds cracked
haven't
in half.
I haven't played it in constructed. It just doesn't seem good enough.
It's really awkward and constructed. I feel like this thing every time at times I've seen it, if it hits a site with two units or minions there, it bounces between them because that's where the
Hmm.
projectile originates, and it just feels like awkward and not what it's supposed to be doing. Um,
Yeah.
but I get how it works in the rules of the game. So it's 5
Yeah.
mana, deal 6 or 7.
It's deal 7 total if you can find the targets.
Yeah, so like you can get above rate damage, but yeah, it's fine. It's a projectile. It's a kill spell, but
It's
eh.
awkward. I don't love it. I probably make it. Yeah, I think C is fine. It's like it's playable. If you played this in your Archimago deck, I wouldn't hate you, but I don't like it.
Or Spark Mage, you can kind of maybe make it work, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah. What about Band of Thieves? I think you were pretty high on this card.
I liked Band of Thieves. 3 mana for a 3/3, 2 air threshold stealth. It kind of reminds me of what's the thing that you play up to your opponent's site? Void Walk and gains stealth if it enters the
Yeah,
void.
Phase Assassin.
It kind of reminds me of a weaker phase assassin,
Yeah,
um, but you can't like play it up in your opponent's face. I think it's a
yeah,
fine minion. Like stealth is really nice in that it just avoids that first bury it, kill it
yeah.
kind of
It
thing.
gets the damage in.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I don't love it, but I think C would be fine. If you played this against me and it dealt damage to me, I wouldn't, I
it's like
wouldn't
it
be
did its
surprised.
job.
I just don't love it.
It,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
I don't like it, but I don't hate it. Ooh,
Cast
we
to
got
exile. This one's kind of fun.
yeah. Yeah, 2 mana, 2 air threshold. Shuffle target minion occupying an allied site into its owner's spellbook.
So
It's
it's fine.
good.
It's good. It's really good. But like having your opponent minion on your site already, so that means they've already attacked and maybe you've chump blocked or you already take damage. Like I would rather just bury the thing or like just get rid of it first.
What are you playing this in? I only play it in one deck.
I don't play a whole lot of airs, so I don't know.
Oh, air's the best. I play it in Avatar of Air because you don't have any other way to deal with stuff, and
Yeah,
I just keep missing my Chaos Twisters. So I
and
love it in Avatar of Air, which is why I think it's good in B. But I think that like Archimago wouldn't need to play this because he could just play a
kill the
kill
thing.
spell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like 2 mana, so it's really efficient. Don't get me wrong. So like
Yes. Yes.
I think that's what kind of pushes it out of C for me.
Yeah. I think it's good. I just think it's limited in who's playing it, but I do think it's good when you play it.
Yeah. Castle Haunt, 3 mana, 1 air threshold, so you can like ramp on it with a tower for a 4/4, but it must be cast to an elite or unique site.
Maybe cast to an elite or unique site. You can cast it anywhere, but it
But
dies if it leaves its summoning site.
yeah, so it's like you can turn 2/4/4 on their first unique site or whatever and be really annoying, but it can't move. It
Yeah,
might
that
be
turn
kind
one color out of space, wreck it.
Yeah, it might be good in like a silence kind of list and get rid of that downside. Um, but then you're in air, but you really want to be in water, so maybe there's a water air silence deck that could make this work. I really
I
like
think
it
it's
off of.
good.
I think it's good, but like that restriction is a restriction, and people are playing some greedy mana bases, so it's really
Yeah.
not much of a downside. B tier.
Yeah, I like it. I think that there are multiple ways to kill it that aren't super difficult for certain decks, and when that happens, that sucks. But like all your other minions die to bury, right?
Yeah,
Like Riptide just eliminates it. Avatar of Air just takes care of this thing. Like there are a lot of ways that this thing just dies, but like I don't know.
Would you rather play
Furry,
this
magic missiles,
or Phase Assassin or Phase? Not Phase Assassin.
headless haunt.
No, what's the thing that dies if it gets targeted or like gets what struck for anything?
Oh god, that thing's terrible.
I think that this is better than
The
that.
bird,
Yeah,
the phase bird thing.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I
Phantasmal
wouldn't play
Shade.
that. Spectral, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
Phantasmal Shade. No, I'd play this over Phantasmal Shade.
yeah.
It doesn't lose to Death Speaker immediately.
Castle Servants, 2 mana. So this is the part of the cycle of 2 mana, two
Yeah, yeah, it's
two
deep.
that provides a threshold. It's D tier, just as all
Yep.
the other ones.
Moving on.
Moving on. One of the best cards in the set, I think.
Interesting. Feast for Crows. We got the 3 mana, 2 air threshold. Name a spell, search an opponent's hand, spellbook, and cemetery for cards with that name, and banish them. They shuffle their spellbook.
It's
S tier.
It is.
It is?
I've so Siege of the Core. And there was another big event. Sorcery Con.
Yeah, yeah.
Both of those finals games were decided off the back of Feast for Crows.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, named Grapple Shot as just a baseline is really good, but then you can like pair this with a Lookout or something and really tear apart somebody's hand, or take their win condition, or take Divine Healing out of Mission Magoo. Like Feast for Crows is so good.
Yeah, I vacillate between A and S, and the reason I do that is aggro is very strong, and this is relatively dead against aggro.
That's fair.
Like I don't like the mono red charge deck, or fire air charge deck. What are you naming? One of their 19 different charge minions?
Maybe you name like Grapple Shot just as like a kill spell preventative thing. I think if you're in air and you can reasonably hit 2 air threshold, I think you just put it in there. It's too good not to.
No, I don't think it's any worse than an A tier. So it's between S and A for me. I agree. It's cracked in half in Mr. Magoo because you get to like cast it once, take out what you're afraid of, cast it again after you've seen their hand, and rip that thing apart too.
Yeah, it's kind of
yeah,
nice.
it's quite good. Yeah, it's quite good.
Fine Courser. This is like more horse at home. I think you get. 2 mana, 1/1 with that for and 1 air threshold. Charge, movement +1, may carry an ally. So like I just messing around those with an Avatar of Earth, just because you always have the Avatar, and so like you always have something to do with this. But I think it's like C tier. It's the 1/1 is just so bad.
I agree. I think if we didn't have Warhorse, I might consider this almost B, but Warhorse is so good. It's just better than this.
Yeah, the double threshold, like you really need to move 1 square to be like a surprise attack kind of thing, so Warhorse fills that role. That extra movement doesn't really matter.
Yeah, no, I really like that this is Blink with leaves a body behind. But doesn't draw your card, but I prefer Warhorse.
Yep, fully agree. What's this? Miss Melissa Benson, weird little staring at you art.
I like them. The hider sprites, they're so cool. 2 mana, 1 earth, 1 air threshold for a 2 power. Ordinary Fae deck, man. Genesis, name a spell. Spells with that name cannot be cast during your next turn. Oh, until your next turn.
So paired with Lookout or Feast for Crows or like some kind of peak effect, they're really good.
Yeah. I like this in a prison style deck. My problem is it's just not, they don't have enough tools yet, but I think this gets stronger eventually.
Do you think C tier?
I also think I would like it if it was a 3/3. Yeah, I think C.
3/3 for 3?
It's just, yeah, because it's like,
it dies really
I just don't know how. And also, your peak effects are limited, right? There's not that many of them. You've got like the Swiven Scout from set 1. You got Lookout. You got Feast for Crows. Otherwise, you're kind of drawing blind. I think I was higher on this in the spoilers because I was like, you play into Earthquake and name Earthquake. But I just think a 2 mana, 2 power, it's not quite strong enough. Like Violimp is like that's what you want to be doing on tier 2.
Yeah, you have to be better than Violimp. Like this is a huge
Or
tempo
like
swing.
you're generating, yeah, or generating card advantage like Kettletop or the Land Surveyors. This is cool, but you require another card to make it even viable.
Ah, yeah, that's a good point. I think 3 sets, 4 sets from now, when we get more peak effects or tools of that kind of like, this is going to be a good toolbox or like
Yeah.
thing to put that kind of deck together.
I just don't think, and also like if you play it on curve, like there are so many decent 3 drops. What are you naming? Right? It's cool when it's not on
Hmm.
curve, but then you're playing a 2 mana on turn 6 because you're trying to screw them over. I don't know. I just don't think it's very strong.
I would agree. Uh, this was one of the early spoiled cards, Queene Banshee.
Yes, this was spoiled when we were at Courtesan Cup.
Yep, where the
Yeah,
art
four
was,
mana.
right?
Yes, the art was. It's 4 mana, 2 air threshold for a 3 power ordinary spirit. Maybe cast for 0 if an allied mortal died this turn. I think it's a combo card. I don't know if it's anything else.
And you can't cast this on your opponent's turn, correct?
Yes, you
Yeah,
cannot because you're still casting it and you don't have any priority during your opponent's turn.
unless it's like quick magic when it says you can do this
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
like you said, it's kind of a combo thing. You like throw your foot soldier or something into something, or you kind of get a free second minion. I feel like it's like an Amos Mercenaries, but you're gotta like spend a minion you already have on board. Um, C
I
tier.
actually mean it's a combo with Vivian.
Oh, so you can get it for
Yeah,
free.
you can infinite. Well, not just for free. You can get infinite Vivians when you do this and a this standing stones and a what's the Fey Changeling, because you cast Vivian for free. You choose Vivian to bounce. You bring her back. You cast Vivian for free. You choose Vivian to bounce. You bounce her back. You get infinite cast triggers, and then you just want to have another Genesis on standing stones, so you can get infinite of that. Does that make sense?
Yes, that's you. So you need 4 cards. You need a Vivian, this Standing Stones, Fey Changeling to start it, and 5 cards and a Genesis to copy.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah. It's not a good combo card, but it is a combo card.
All right, where are you putting it?
Listen. I'm putting this in my Death Speaker combo 2-headed giant deck.
Oh man,
But
I
yeah,
can't
no,
wait
it's
for
probably
two-headed giant to like take off and be like the commander bullshit piles.
it's yeah, it's fun. I think this is probably it might be C tier because if you're playing a free 3/3, that's actually not bad, right? That's why I wouldn't put Airmost Mercenaries in D tier. D tier.
That's fair.
This is basically an Airmost Mercenaries.
I
I
think
don't
it's
think
a
it's
little
B. I
bit
don't think it's A.
worse. I think
I
it's a
think it gets actually very strong in future sets the more card draw we get. Because
yeah.
right now, casting this for 0 is not that good because it's taking up one of your very few cards and then you run out of gas.
Mm.
But if I'm drawing like 3 cards a turn because I'm playing some crazy, I don't know, combo, I don't know. But if you're able to get more cards, then this is actually quite good because it's an Airmost Mercenary without much of a downside. We
Did
just need more cards.
we need more cards? Or no, we need more card advantage cards.
Yes, exactly. Which eventually will happen, right? They're not going to never draw a card spell.
Yep.
Hell, we're 2 sets in and we got freaking Morgana Le Fay.
Next set's going to be 0 mana, draw 3. King's Council, 3 mana magic, 2 air threshold. I have yet to play this card.
I got you. It's draw a card for each unique ally.
Oh, that's right. Kyle's like messing with this in Druid, right? Or is this Unlikely
No,
Alliance?
he does Unlikely Alliance, which
Oh,
I
okay.
actually bought a couple foils of when I saw Druid spoiled.
Ooh.
Because I was like, cracked. It's cracked.
Did that turn out?
No, but I actually do think it's good, and I think that this card is good as well. But I don't think that it is. Let's see. I think this card gets better with every set. Like I probably will
Yep.
buy a foil or two of this because in alpha beta there are only so many uniques you could play, and they died to removal. So it was like, how good are they? But like, I used to play a lot. Like, what percentage of your deck was ordinary in alpha and beta? It's like 50, right?
Yeah, I would say at least 30 to 40%.
We're down to like 20 for me. At
Yeah,
least minions.
just because the density of better cards is getting there, right?
In next set, they're going to be good uniques. In the next set, they're going to be good uniques. And what are you going to cut? Well, Vile Imp just doesn't. I mean, like honestly, Kobolds was cracked in half. Kobold is still very good, but I
I
have multiple fire decks that don't run Kobolds.
yeah, no, I agree. I was talking to Kyle and he was like, yeah, 3 mana for 2/2 that maybe doesn't kill something, it just isn't good enough.
Yeah. My Petrosian Cavalry was like an auto include 3 of in every deck I ran, or 4 of in every deck I ran, and now I don't run it in anything.
Just because
We got better charge minions.
better charge me. The 3/3 for 3 that has to attack. Like if you're gonna attack anyways, who gives a shit? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that as each set comes out, we'll have better uniques, and eventually you're going to be able to play, practically all uniques, and that's King's Council.
I fully agree.
At
But
least,
right
at least
now,
minions, because to be fair, I think that and this only cares about minions. But to be fair, like I'm never gonna not play Grapple Shot. I'm never gonna not play Blink. I'm never gonna not play, you know,
Barry.
Flanking Maneuver or whatever. Yeah. So exactly. So specifically for minions, I think you could build more uniques. Where is it for right now in this set? I don't know. C, B,
Bottom of C,
B.
middle of C somewhere. Yeah, I don't think it's like it's 3 mana,
It's
probably draw 2. So you're getting a
which is
little,
quite good.
yeah, which is a little above rate.
But I think that if you're playing like Elementalist Knights, this is very good.
Yeah, if you're playing a bunch of like unique knights and doing that, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Magic missiles. How it's just we don't have color pies, but this feels like a color pie break to me. 2 mana, 1 air threshold magic. That's firebolts. Shoot 3 projectiles, do 1 damage for each projectile. Like,
Yep.
where do we put firebolts?
I like. I don't know. A S. It's really good.
Yeah, I think it's
No,
A.
I think that this card is. Yeah, you're right. I think it's A. It's so good, but like, it's not like game breaking, but it's so good.
Yeah, no, it was like air's got another removal tool, and it needed some kind of like early removal tool.
Yeah, it's very powerful.
Uh,
Ooh,
one of
we
the
got Merlin.
one of the better. This is one of the hyped cards in the beginning. You want to read this guy
Yeah.
out?
Yeah, Merlin is a 3 mana, 3 air threshold, 3 power, unique mortal. Spellcaster. Anytime during your turn, Merlin may look at your next spell and cast it if it's a magic spell. It's really good in Archimago.
Question.
It's really good in anything playing a lot of, just like more than average magic.
Would you say this is better or worse than Morgan Le Fay?
Worse.
Yep. That's where I think
Yeah.
I kind of like. It's 3 mana. You don't play this guy on curve. Even if you're in a full air deck, you don't want to play this on curve. You want to play this on turn 6 and maybe get
Yeah.
another spell.
Yeah.
And then he probably gets removed, and then he paid 3 mana to get an extra spell, which is still pretty good. It's still fine, but
Yeah.
like, I don't think it's S tier Morgan Le Fay like shit. I'm
No.
gonna fucking lose, but it's very good.
It's not Morgan Le Fay. It's not Boudica.
Yeah, if this guy sticks around for 2 or 3 turns, yeah, he's great, but
Yeah,
things aren't sticking around.
I agree. But he's good.
He's very good.
I think he's even better than I thought he was at first. But he was also like $60 when the set came out. I think this is
one
better
of the
price now.
I think this is one of those like super. Oh, this guy's fucking busted, just on the face of it. But in practice, it's really not. It's kind of like the Four Waters and him, where like,
Yeah.
these are the 2 greatest cards in the set, and they're really not. It's Morgan Le Fay in the ring.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? I got both of those things for less than $20.
Good for you. Moving on.
I was like, yeah, I'll buy those.
Ominous Owl. One for 1. Airborne. May play units to this guy's site. So it's like
Yeah, you can get. Yeah,
it's a weird
bad summoning
summoning
sphere.
sphere. Yeah. But it's a 1.
yeah, he's a worse summoning sphere.
Yeah.
Yes, he can move, but he dies too easily.
Yeah. Dies way too easily.
Power of Flight,
Yep.
unplayable. Next.
Really?
No,
It draws a
give an
card.
allied minion airborne until your next turn. Draw a spell.
Like,
Yeah,
Blink is so much better than this, but it seems fine.
Yes, but Blink is so much better than this.
Yeah, just play Blink, right?
Yeah, I just it There's almost nothing that this does that Blink doesn't, except allows you to attack an airborne minion.
Yeah, which can be
Otherwise, I think it
useful.
does nothing. Yeah, otherwise it's no better. Not even equal.
So, are we grading this?
So I don't like it.
Are we? Oh, okay. So you're just like, Blink is better, so this is still unplayable, or as a card
I
in a vacuum, it seems fine.
I don't know. It's hard to measure anything in a vacuum, right? Because
Yeah,
like
that's fair.
Violent, right? Like anything that has 2 or less life, you're like, well, Violent. I just don't think it's very good, and I wish it was double air threshold because then it would actually be fine in Spark Mage. Because like Spark
Uh,
Mage just wants infinite cantrips, but 1 air threshold,
just
ooh,
play Blink,
no. Just play Blink.
and then you don't have to tap and move. All right, I'm putting in.
I would play both if I were playing Spark Mage if this had double air threshold,
Uh,
but single it's just not worth it because you just want cantrips.
you just want to cycle through cards, right?
Yeah, it's like a storm deck.
Yeah, I guess. Fuck, it's like if Blink didn't exist, this would be really good or better.
Maybe decent, yeah.
Yeah.
Or just play birds. Just play more birds.
Sherwood Huntress. 2 mana, 2/2, 1 air threshold. Two. It has range. It's a 2/2 range. I know Zalem liked this in early limited testing, but I think it's just kind of bad still.
Yeah, it's not good. It's beautiful art.
Yeah. Sam
S for
McKinnon,
art.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
S for art. Next.
Much the best card in Mission Magoo that you love so much, Sisters of Silence, right?
I hate this card, but not because it's bad. I just personally don't like it.
Do you want to read this guy out?
Yeah, yeah. 2 mana, 1 air threshold, Sisters of Avalon. It's a 1 power, and it's spellcaster, Genesis. Discard a spell, draw a spell. It's good. I can't. So the reason I don't like it is because of my luck with it, not because it's a bad card. I don't like it because usually I draw like all the spells I want, and then I draw Sisters of Avalon. I'm like, well, fuck, I don't want to discard these. I'd rather get 2 copies of the spell, and that always seems to happen to me. But it's really good, right? It discard a spell. Period. Draw a spell. It's not a
Conditional.
discard a spell as a cost. Yeah. So if this is the last card in your hand, you just draw a spell. 2 mana, 1 power, gain a spellcaster, draw a spell. Yeah,
Or
it's
if this
good.
turn 6 or 7, you top deck this and you go, all right, 2 mana, draw a spell. All right, fine, whatever. You get a chump blocker.
Yeah. Yes, you get a chump blocker, or you discard that spell you don't really need, and then you use it to fuel a different spell. It's quite good. I really do like Sisters of Avalon as a card. I just have bad luck with it.
And like the discard is
I
not like outside of Mr. Magoo, we don't have a whole lot of like benefits in the graveyard, but like future sets, it seems like this is putting things into graveyards
Ooh,
is always good.
the Reanimator deck.
Oh, with
Right? What do we have?
Raised Dead.
Raise Dead, that's the one. Raise Dead. So you put cast this on 2. You pitch your Lord of the Void. Then on turn 3 you play a tower. You play Raise Dead. You get Lord of the Void.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I want it to work.
I don't think the density is there.
Yeah, I want it to work, but yeah. So I still think it's probably C or A.
I slowly acquired a full set of foil sisters just as like this is going to be a solid card in the future. Just kind of like
Yeah, for forever.
roll filler. It draws you, it cycles, burns through your deck. It puts things in your yard. It just kind of, and it's a spellcaster, which can't be understated either. Like it can cast a
Yeah,
poison over or something different. Like it just seems like a reasonable card. Like it does a lot.
it's also got really good art.
It's very spooky.
Yeah, I really like it. Actually, I like it even more now. I'm looking at the art. I don't think I noticed the 2 chicks in the back left with their like eyes covered. I'm really into it.
No, it's
All right, Alan Pollock. Well done.
Tactical move, 2 mana. Why not play Blink? 2 mana, 1 air threshold. All allies
One
take
at a
2
time.
steps.
Each ally
There
takes
you go.
up to 2 steps.
One at a time is the thing I was reading about. It takes 2
Yeah.
steps, so it's not tapping and 2 steps, but it doesn't draw you a card. Like movement's great, but I don't know how great this is.
So interestingly, you know who likes this card a lot?
Alex.
No, it's Astariel, the guy
Okay.
who made Top Cut this season, and says that he thinks that this might be one of the better cards in his deck. And then Kevin put it in his deck, the Bird's Master himself, and is like, this card is cracked.
Oh, because
Yeah,
because
because
Airborne
Birds
is
is
so
one of the few
powerful.
decks I feel like. Yeah, because Birds is one of the few decks in the meta that has a boatload of minions out at any one time.
So there's like
And
three
the
minions on
reason
board
it's
for at any given
and the
point.
reason it's so good is all of the movement.
Hmm.
So yeah, yes, I had the exact same opinion of you, that this card wasn't that good. I'd rather play Blink. I'd rather draw a card with my movement spell. They seem to like this a lot. I haven't played with it much.
So
I still think I like Blink, but
so just
they
thinking
love
about
this
this,
card.
in birds, you always have at least two minions out. You always have something. It's really annoying, but
Yeah.
you're you're gaining. So you're paying 2 mana for
Mhm.
say 4 steps, maybe 6 steps,
Yeah.
and movement.
Your avatar counts.
Yeah, so you're getting 6 steps of movement, and I
Yeah.
should call out airborne does not work with steps. It is
It does now.
so
Yeah.
whirling
So I
blades. Hold on. So whirling blades with airborne, I can move diagonally.
yes. We played that wrong the other day.
Okay, I'm just
To
just making
be to
sure.
be fair, to be fair, everybody didn't know how this worked. You should have checked out the if you I don't know if you look at the league chat much, but go back 2 days ago or 3 days ago. I call out this exact thing, and then Kyle was like, "That's not how it works. It works like this." And then Justin was like, "That's not how it works. It works like this." And then Kevin, like Kevmo, was like, "That's not how it works. It works like this." And like multiple judges were arguing as well. It is a very confusing thing because I think Kyle had it pretty close, but it is forced movement that shit. I don't even know. No, this allows you to use airborne. I think it's when you use if you take steps, you can use airborne. If it is X steps away, you can't. So
That's
using step not related to minions. So like even if it was like your airborne ally does something 2 steps away, that doesn't count. Step in that term is a unit of measurement. But this says it takes steps so it can use its movement abilities.
that's
Similarly, I don't think this works on Pudge Butcher.
that's really annoying. I that's my one problem with the game currently is the fucking rules and like when I say steps,
It
like
should say one thing. Yeah, they
yeah.
should get rid of yeah. So step is a unit of measurement when it's not being applied to specifically a target like minion or whatever.
So like when you say
But
2 steps away, it's like
it does not count airborne.
y- but if it says take steps, it counts airborne.
It does.
Because
Yes.
if it says 2 steps away is measuring steps, and this is
Yes,
take
which is
steps, that means
adjacent.
it's moving steps.
Yes, because in the rule book, it measures a step as the shortest distance between adjacent sites. So you can't do diagonal.
To measure.
But this, yes, you're measuring it by adjacent sites. But this is an ally taking steps, which is a different term somehow.
You can't see me right now, but I'm rubbing my temples. This is moving on. It seems good in
Yeah.
birds.
Apparently, it's good in birds, according to two of the better bird player, probably best birds players out there. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's two of them. I don't know. I guess Joffrey was playing birds before his Magoo. Yeah, some of the best birds players out there, including the birds master himself, thinks it's quite good.
All right.
So where do we put it? We put it in
I think it's B tier
B.
because
I think B is fine.
I think B tier because it's like only good in birds or like kind of low to the ground thing.
It'll be
But
great when we get more. If we get more mid-range like board stalls, it's really good. But we don't have that now. So
the Black Plague, 4 mana for 2 air and 2 air threshold for an aura. So at the corners of 4 sites. What does this say specifically? I know it kills the weakest minion among them.
yeah. So at the end of your turn, the weakest minion occupying affected sites dies. If tied, choose one. Dispel if none die.
Seems pretty solid. 4 mana, kill a thing, and maybe sticks around. Some
Yeah, it's
good.
really good in Enchantress, and then I think it's
No,
decent
yeah,
in.
Enchantress because it doesn't kill itself like the other one.
Well, it could kill itself, but you just choose not to animate it then.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I also don't think I play it in most decks.
I think you play it as a. Hey, I don't.
I like Great Famine better because Great Famine can fit in Death Speaker because it kills the strongest, and you can feed your crappy, uh,
One
like your
ones.
weak ones into it
Yeah.
to keep it alive if you want to. But this one kills off your weak dudes, so I don't think it's very good. So like you're playing this in a minion deck where you have big dudes. I don't know. I don't like it that much. I think it's good in Enchantress. Otherwise, I'm not playing it. I think Great Famine is the opposite. I think I can play it in Enchantress, but I could also play it in Death Speaker because I'm killing off the big dudes and I'm keeping my small ones alive, or I'm feeding them into this thing.
It feels like a really good lock piece. Like you play this like off to the left or right, and then funnel them into your free city or something, and it just makes it really annoying to attack.
Uh, yeah, okay, all right. I like it as C, but I'm down for B.
I'm going to put it in B. I think it's almost A tier, but maybe
Okay,
we'll see some
no, I
events doing better with
yeah,
it.
I'm
Uh,
curious.
the Fairy Queen.
Something I thought would be better, but I haven't seen much of it. It's 4 mana, 2 air threshold for a 3 mana unique fairy. She's got airborne, spellcaster. Nearby allied fairies take no damage from units with 4 or more power. This is going to be good when mid range is good,
Yeah,
but mid range is not good.
I hate that we keep saying
So
it. I wish minions stuck around, but uh,
my concern is like I we keep saying if mid range gets good, I really hope it does though, because I really enjoy a metagame where mid range is possible. I don't like control versus aggro only. So I'm really hoping mid range comes in, but we never know. But
but
right now, I just don't think this is super good. It did show up in what the quarterfinals for the Sorcery Con.
yeah, it was like another airborne 3/3. Um,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
it's 4 mana for a 3/3. And it's also spellcasters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put it in C tier. It has a lot of stuff going on
Sure.
for it, but a
It's
little
play. If you play it, I go, oh, cool. But I'm not like that's bad. Don't put that in your deck.
yeah. The Ninth Legion. I don't think I've seen this one played yet. 6 mana, six
Nope.
six for and 3 air threshold. Must be played to a corner. I can't quite read it.
Yeah. It's a 6 mana, 6/6. Void Walk must be cast to a corner. Deathrite return to hand. I think this is not super good, but if we get Enchantress or other Enchantress like avatars, it's pretty decent. And actually, this could be good against Archimago. People who are basically don't want to advance on you and want to play to their back row, you just get a 6 mana 6/6 that you can play every turn to the back row and force them to keep trying to remove it. Because not a lot of spells get rid of this guy.
And
Like, sure, they'll have
eventually
one.
they're going to run out of them. Right? Yeah, like you said, they're going to have one, and then Mr. Magoo is going to have two. But you just play this and force them to do that every single turn. Seems interesting.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's good, but I do think it could have a place.
And like it's so you're playing this later game, and usually people will move left or right on the board, and could do
Like,
something.
if aggro gets worse, right? We get some sort of we get more prison sites, right? We get more things that stop aggro in its tracks. I think this is decent because it's just like every it's like the same reason that that Wild Wild West deck doesn't really work anymore is present a threat every turn doesn't really work because they can.
Yeah,
Um
this is like
but
present a recurring threat every turn.
yeah, this one's basically card advantage though, right? Because
Yeah,
Wild Wild West is every turn I play a threat and you get rid of it, and then I draw another threat and you get rid of it, and then I draw a core and I lose. This is at least, I keep drawing threats, or I keep drawing cards, and I keep playing this threat, and I'm gonna fill up my hand. I don't hate it. I just don't think it has a place right now. I would consider it like C or D, but I think it has the potential to move up.
I like C just because it's a recurring thing, and like it's really hard to get rid of, and you play it every single turn. And if you get to 6 mana, you've already like gotten past the aggro bullshit, so
Yeah.
it could be good.
I think I'm gonna put it in my two-headed giant deck.
I love it. Yeah, that seems great.
Yeah, I think it's very playable in two-headed giant because two-headed giant is not trying to be super competitive. I mean, like, I guess you could. I don't know. I haven't really seen many people try to be competitive with two-headed giant. I feel like it's like where you get to go to play with the stuff you don't normally play with.
Yeah, it's Commander.
Yeah, it's Commander, and I like that.
Yeah, but it's better than Commander because it doesn't take. It does take a while, but it's not
Wait, it
like.
just took us 2 hours.
But I was playing the game, and my problem with Commander is like I have to wait 20 minutes for my fucking turn to do anything.
Yeah.
Uh, the Wild Hunt, 6 mana, 6/6, 3 air threshold again. Airborne, other
Five
nearby
five
5/5. Other nearby fairies have charge.
spirits and fairies.
Spirits and fairies have charge.
Yeah,
C tier again, like kind of
yeah.
yeah. Like a six
It's
mana
cool
five
in the
five
fairy deck.
airborne is pretty good, but like yeah, you. I want my charge to come down early, not late. If that makes
It's also
sense.
other.
Yeah, it's other, so it
It
doesn't
doesn't
give
count
itself
itself.
charge. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's cool in a spirits deck, but I don't think it's good, sadly. But I think we were kind of hype on this for, I don't know, was this a spoiler? I don't remember,
I
but I
don't
thought we
remember.
thought that this was good. But yeah, I don't think it's really super playable. I mean, maybe if the next two sets have multiple fairies or spirits that make it really good, then maybe. But right now, yeah.
Eh. Thundering Giant, another
Yeah, baby.
big flyer dude.
Charge. No flying, but he is charged.
Oh,
He's 6 mana, 2 air threshold, 4 power, elite giant. Charge! Once in your turn, Thundering Giant may teleport to another nearby location. Tap all other units there on arrival.
it kind of has airborne.
It kind of does. I actually don't hate this one.
Yeah,
We don't see it played. It's because we don't see 6 drops played very often.
yeah. You're stopping at 5, and then your 6,
Yeah.
7, and 8s are like game enders.
They better be damn good. Yeah, your 6 drop is like Infernal Legion is dealing 3. It's removing board pieces. It's 6 power and hard to deal with. This is like too easy to deal with.
It doesn't have
But
airborne.
he's cool.
Yeah, no, he's
Yeah.
great. Like, and you can set up a good, like, he can be a kill spell, like a kill, like on death's door kind of thing. But uh, 6 mana
Yeah.
for a 4/4 feels bad.
Yeah.
The cute little tooth fairies, 2 mana, 2/2 airborne. At the beginning of your upkeep or start of your turn or whatever it says, tap a nearby thing.
Yeah. Tap a target nearby enemy. I like it.
If you, does this play in birds? This plays in birds, right?
It plays in the mono air version of birds, which is less common these days.
Yeah, it's usually birds with their air with splash of some sort, right?
I kind of like it as a B tier, and mostly because it's only really in mono air birds, and as soon as you get a different color, you cut this first.
Yeah, because the two
It's not
drop.
a 3 mana 3/3 flyer.
Yeah, that's fair.
I actually cut these for Koinexes in mind because it lets me tap you and bring you towards me, so I can chuck you into free cities.
Yeah, no, it's the 50. It's the 47th through 50th card. Like it gets
Yeah,
cut
yeah.
first,
It's a first cut, but it's I still think it's good.
and like it's a good tempo swing too. Maybe I can try this in Avatar of Earth or something.
Yeah, get rid of their blockers and get in for damage.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Unseelie Court. Some cool artwork here. 6 mana, 2 air threshold for a 5/5. At the
Yeah,
beginning of your turn, each opponent discard or everybody discards a card for each fairy.
yeah. Players discard a spell for each fairy in the realm. It has to be a spell.
And this
I
is so you get to
wanted to love
draw
this.
after you draw after this guy triggers, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. So you get a card, but I mean, it kind of puts you on like even tempo.
but it's 6 mana.
It's like, yeah, no, it's not good.
You think it's D tier or C tier?
Probably D, honestly.
Yeah,
I was really hyped for this early because I was like, wait a minute, we get the Sealy, we get the Unseelie, we get to do, you know, draw
draw a
cards, discards.
discard. Yeah.
Yeah, you get first access to the extra cards, but like truthfully, you're giving your opponent cards in that deck. It's just not that good. Yeah, I
Uh,
don't love it.
Vanishments, 3 mana for and 2 air threshold. Give all allies stealth. Just want to draw your card too. Yeah,
Yep, draws a spell. Draw a spell. But yeah,
spell.
yeah.
But it's a minion payoff.
Yeah. It's basically what we've been talking about for this whole thing. Is if mid-range soup ever gets good, this is great. But it's not good, so it's meh.
Yeah, it's 3 mana, no movement. It does replace itself, but it's minion payoff. And if you're
Yeah,
playing this, you need to play this right after you play a minion. So it's turn 6. You play a 3/3 and then give it stealth. Like I would just have to play another 3/3.
yeah. It's theoretically okay in Avatar of Air, but we don't play it in Avatar of Air because like you attack with all your minions, you give them stealth, and then Magoo can't magic missiles them. But I don't know. C probably. I think it's better than D, but it's not great.
Weightless Squire. I was really high on this guy during the spoiler season. 3 mana, 1/1
You love
airborne
Lance.
lance. Say again.
You just love Lance.
Lance is great. Like in limited, this guy's a removal spell.
I agree. I think he's very good in limited. I put all the squires in my decks in limited.
But constructed, he's a 3 mana 1/1.
Yeah,
With
he's
that.
not good. And honestly, he's a 3 mana 1/1, and if you don't use the lance this turn, then he's gonna die and give it to your opponent.
I think you're giving your opponent stuff. Yeah. All right, the last
Yeah.
air card, Whirlwind.
Whirlwind! I love this card. It's not good, but I do love it. Whirlwind, 2 mana, 1 air threshold, exceptional magic. Choose clockwise or counterclockwise. Each unit and artifact atop sites in a 2x2 area is pushed 1 step in that direction. I love it. D.
I agree. It doesn't replace itself. It's 2 mana, so play Blink. There's some cool shenanigans you can do with it, but no.
Yeah, it's got cool shenanigans with forced movement and like that air water forced movement deck. You could like Black Obelisk to do a double Angel's Egg on them. I don't know. Double Devil's Egg on them. You can pull them to. I don't know. It's not good, but I want it to be. You can use it in Druid and push all their stuff around and get extra damage in. It's not good,
You're stretching here, bud.
dude. I'm the king of that. I tried to make Forberry not work the other day, and then I was wrong.
Ugh. Just
I know. I know.
You're playing 1 mana artifact. It's got to be a core or the fucking ring.
Or a trinket.
Our trinkets are really good too. Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Otherwise, it's pretty. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Not.
It's not good.
Not maybe as a free 0 power thing. Be kind of cool. Or 0 mana thing.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
there's air. Final thoughts on air. Like it looks a little more balanced than Earth did.
Yeah, it's better than Earth and Water, but it's not great. Air was cracked in Alpha Beta though, so like honestly, if every color looked like this, it would be okay. But because Fire looked nothing like this, yeah, Fire's the goat.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go back to Fire and see what we messed up. But yeah,
I think Fire was top heavy. I think we actually weren't too far off.
cool. But see everybody in the next one.
Woohoo! Cheers.